The man made a living by raising stray dogs for fighting, and to keep their hunger sharp, he often starved them. But his youngest son, Doug, had a kind heart and couldn't bear to see the dogs go hungry, so he would secretly sneak them food. When his older brother found out, he immediately told their father. At dinner, the father beat Doug violently, then dragged him outside and threw him into a dog cage, saying, "This is your family now." Inside the house, their mother watched helplessly, but eventually, she couldn't take it anymore. She decided to leave the family. Before she left, she gave Doug several cans of food and warned him to bury them well, so the two devils wouldn't find them. It turned out she was pregnant, and to keep the next child from enduring the same life, she had no choice but to run. In the days that followed, Doug lived among the dogs. Behind the cage, in a pile of junk, he found a stash of women's magazines his mother had hidden. From those pages, Doug discovered the outside world and feminism. It shaped his twisted view of life. His brother blamed Doug for their mother's departure. To punish him, he hung a banner that read, "Repent in the name of God." But from Doug's angle, with part of the banner flipped, it spelled out DogMan. Doug smiled. It was as if he had found his destiny. Seasons passed, and one spring, a new litter of puppies was born inside the cage, but the cruel brother happened to discover them. Despite Doug's desperate begging, he told their father. The man showed up with a hunting rifle. Doug tried to stop him, screaming like a wild animal. The dogs, sensing his rage, barked furiously at the approaching monster. Enraged, the father instinctively pulled the trigger. The bullet hit Doug. It was only then the father snapped out of it and tried to enter the cage, but the older son stopped him, saying he'd handle it. All he did was toss Doug a rag. That shot shattered one of Doug's fingers and paralyzed his legs. Doug completely lost hope in this family. He picked up the severed finger, put it in a pouch, then grabbed a magazine with a police car on the cover. He pointed at it, signaling to one of the puppies to take the finger to the cops. The puppy raced through the streets with a human finger in its mouth. When it saw a police car, it jumped onto it. The officers were shocked. Once they realized what they were looking at, they followed the dog to a house. There, they rescued over 10 stray dogs and freed Doug, who had been locked up for more than a decade. Afterward, the father took his own life out of guilt. The older brother was sentenced to prison. Doug was diagnosed with permanent disabilities, but doctors fitted him with leg braces. Still, every step risked spinal fluid leakage and posed a threat to his life. Years later, the brother was released from prison, but as soon as he stepped out, the dogs who had been waiting for him were already there.